In a big development in Andhra politics, the former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, YSRCP Chief Jagan Mohan Reddy, appeared before the special CBI court in Hyderabad today. This was complying with the court's directive requiring his personal appearance in the disproportionate assets case that's been going on for the last many years. But Jagan Mohan Reddy's appearance now in this particular case has also led to questions about whether this is a political witch hunt or impropriety. Let me bring in on this broadcast representatives of the TDP and the YSRCP. Joining us is Deepak Reddy Gunapati, national spokesperson of the TDP. We also have Karthik Yellapragada, spokesperson of the YSRCP. Thank you both very much for your time. Karthik, I'd like to begin with you. You look at the disproportionate assets case and the allegations against Jagan Mohan Reddy, they're extremely serious, and this isn't just about a CBI case, but also the ED that's looking into these allegations.
If there's any question, of course, that's something, nothing new on political vendetta. But this particular one, he's been asked to come because he's gone to, for his personal affair to a foreign country. So every time he goes there, he's asked to come there and do the whatever stuff has been asked. But the point there is, here, we're not kind of feared. And we want to protect and we want to actually enforce and then also follow the law. And that's why he's come and did all the honors. And I don't know why this is politicized or why this is making such a big headlines. What we should be asking is, Akshita, in the ADR report in the recent past, the same India Today has published saying that Chandrababu Naidu is one of the richest CMs in the country. And the same ADR report is also mentioning that 96% of the people from Teludesam party has criminal offenses. And again, why this happens to Y Jagan all the time, we don't understand that. And also what ADR report says, for an instance, Chandrababu Naidu is one of the top 3 people in the country having 19 criminal cases, Lokesh having 17 criminal cases, and Deputy Chief Minister having 8 criminal cases, who is Mr. Pawan Kalyan. Now, the point there is they are completely not knowing how to actually rule the government, and every time they come up with some falsified statements, and again they're running all the narratives saying that this is something going out of proportion or going out of context.
Okay, let me bring in Deepak Reddy also on this. It's almost as if it's become a whose corruption is worse right now. But what does the TDP have to say to the YSRCP saying that, look, there are multiple cases against Chandrababu Naidu as well?
Achida, I have to be given a little more time because the YSR representative, the way he was talking is holier than thou. Let me put the record straight. It's 12 years since Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy got the bail and he's running around freely. In the last 6 years, he hasn't stepped foot into the court. Is this possible for any other person in India? And then if you look at Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy's schedule, he's just given 1 hour of his time as per his schedule. So the court has to work according to his schedule. And then when he comes to the court, he's come with thousands of people. And these guys have created ruckus in Hyderabad and even in the court with slogans. I mean, are they trying to threaten our court system and our lawyers? I don't understand. What is the reason for showing the strength of people there? I mean, this is a violation of the bail condition which he's out on. And what is important here is when Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy was the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, he stood number 1 among all the Chief Ministers of India in the number of criminal cases which were booked against him. And in the ADR report then, his wealth was ranked number 1. And what's interesting is all the other Chief Ministers of India put together were not as rich as what Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy was. A man who comes from a very humble background, from a tiny little remote village, how did he amass lakhs of crores? And today, if you see the court's cause list, majority, other than 3 or 4 cases, rest all the cases in the court. The court system is also clogged with the number of cases being what this group of people are facing. So we have to be a little, objective in our thought process. This is criminalization of Indian politics. I mean, this is a glaring example of
what's
how
your response?
Our system is being manipulated.
Deepak Reddy, what's your response to the YSRCP saying that there are multiple cases against TDP leaders too?
Let me be very frank. Today, the point here is about Jagan. when he was the chief minister for 5 years, and when he had 12 years of time, if he was innocent, why didn't he give the required documents to the court? And now to deviate from the existing responsibility, now this gentleman is talking about TDP. I mean, what about your responsibility? If you were clear, why didn't you go to the court for a single time in 6 years? I mean, you're answerable to the people of
Yeah.
Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, you've asked a pointed question, so I'm going to give Karthik a chance to respond to that. Go ahead.
So, firstly, objectively to answer his question, right? So, he's a Z plus category security holder, Akshita. So, having it scheduled on a piece of paper and providing that to the enforcement agencies, so be it, whatever, who is protecting the law, that's a protocol. So, we're not saying that he's there for an hour. I mean, whatever due course procedures would it be, he is obliged because no one is beyond any constitution in this country, right? So he is a Z plus category holder. That's why, this is scheduled. That's a regular protocol. And I don't know why these people are making such a big ruckus out of that. My question is very simple, Akshita. In the same India Today, so there has been a published document, right? The richest chief minister in the country, which is 931 crores, in the recent past. This is the document I'm holding in my hand.
Okay.
ADR report, right? I have ADR reports in my hand. It clearly says that the highest assets at the moment is Andhra Pradesh having, in terms of their chief ministers, that's been published, and also 96 percentage here, Akshita. This is a factual documentation where ADR is produced.
No,
I'm
but
quoting the
is
documents.
the question is wealth a problem? It's corruption. Corruption is the challenge. So if you can tell me that these assets were illegally gained, or this wealth is illegally gained, that's the challenge.
And that's the challenge
Excellent,
where we're saying that we
excellent
will
question,
go to
Ashita.
we will
Stealing from
go
the
to
people and,
So I
and
got
having
I didn't
legitimate
get the
business
chance.
are two different things. And this is something what they don't seem to understand in the first place. Let me get one thing very clear here. The BJP has not allowed Jagan Mohan Reddy to come close, no matter how many times they tried to, vote in favor of the bills put by BJP. Now the Congress also doesn't allow them to come close, and the sister of Jagan Mohan Reddy is made the chief. So nobody wants Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy close by. He's isolated politically, and the only way forward for him is the Chanchalguda jail of Hyderabad or the Rajahmundry jail of Vijayawada. This is the naked truth on the ground.
If there are multiple cases, Karthik, if there are multiple cases against Jagan Mohan Reddy, and there are questions about really even this particular case, the disproportionate asset case, which dates back to, to 2012, if I'm not wrong. And since then, you've had the CBI ED investigated with serious charges against Jagan Mohan Reddy, which you cannot push aside now. You can't ignore.
So here's the point, Rakshita, that is after 2012, where Y. Jagan Mohan Reddy has fought against Congress government, and we all know, the whole nations know, why suddenly cases came just after 2012, because he stood alone. He fought against Congress party, and then again, the same henchman who's there from TDP is part of this whole conspiracy.
So you're saying it's a conspiracy by the Congress and then by the BJP. So this has gone on endlessly through different governments.
I'm saying it's by Congress after he's evidently fought against Congress, stood by his own legs, led the party, won with thumping majority. Now, after 2012, suddenly why would cases come in? Because he just fought with the big heads in the country. As simple as that. No, my point is we are mixing executive, legislative, and judiciary. He is obliged to the judicial system of the country and let the courts take due course of action. He's just respecting that whole process, and that is why he's come to the court today and did whatever the things have been asked in the court. Now let's not judge who is right and who is wrong. That is why we have judicial system in the country. Now what TDP does is, even something is being declared, they feel that executive, legislative, and judicial are all one, and then they declare saying that this is something completely against Jagan Mohan Reddy. No, that isn't the case. When ADR report says that 96% of people are actually said to be criminals, I'm not saying that. The ADR report is saying that in the recent past, right? So the point is, let us give us enough time to the judicial process. Let that announce who is right and who is wrong. As simple as that.
You keep referring to the ADR report as well, and previously spoke of also the fact that Chandrababu Naidu is the richest chief minister. But again, I'll highlight here that allegation, and if you're mentioning that data, it needs to be backed also by facts about where the graft is.
And then how the question comes, how would it, 2 acres of a farmland owner own lakhs of crores of rupees today? In Aina state, the whole people knows. Who's going to answer that question? Where did he begin? Where is he ended up now? The point is here, this is all an allegation on Mr. Y. Jagannath Reddy, especially after 2012, because he's fought with the big heads and he's fighting all and respecting the judicial system, and that's why he's walked into the court today. Now you tell me what's wrong in that.
No, there's nothing wrong with him being in court. The question is about the serious allegations against him. And like I unfortunately started off on this debate, whose corruption is more, whose corruption is worse, is what politics has come down to. But Deepak Reddy, I'll give you also a say in this before I wrap this up, where the YSRCP is constantly saying that the TDP cannot be preaching to us on issues of corruption.
Let me get one thing very clear. The heritage company from which Chandrababu Naidu ji's assets have come is a legitimate business, and it can be it was already scanned by them thoroughly. So let's put that thing aside. So here the point is, for 12 years, Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy is on bail, and 6 years he didn't step into the court. Is this acceptable by our judiciary? Or is this acceptable by the people? When lakhs of crores of allegations of theft and bleeding the people dry of the state of Andhra Pradesh are on him, why is he not able to prove himself? Is the point here. Why is he evading from the court? Why has he filed hundreds of adjournment orders
Okay.
and applications that he's not going to be present? So absolutely, he's afraid that he will be booked. And that is the reason he's evading the court. So let us be absolutely clear that corruption using political clout, you cannot escape forever. Now the time has come, because enough number of excuses have been given, and now they're trying to act as if they are victims,
Okay.
trying to
I'm
get
going to-
sympathy from people. But the people of Andhra Pradesh don't believe them anymore. That's why they haven't given them opposition status, and they threw them out of power.
You've seen
Okay,
the
yeah,
the people in Hyderabad today, Deepak. What happened? The
Okay,
love
I'm
and
going
respect
to
that
wrap
he's
this up.
gotten
I'm
there.
going to wrap this up. Gentlemen, unfortunately, I've completely run out of time. But thank you very much, Deepak Reddy and Karthik, for joining us on this broadcast.